Hello and welcome to Prairie Pulse. Joining me today is Mary Batchelor, a volunteer with Altrusa International of Fargo. Mary, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, as we get started, as we like to do here, tell the folks a little bit about just yourself and your background.
Sure. I'm originally from a town called Grand Marais, Minnesota, which is on the north shore of Lake Superior. I've lived in Fargo for about 4.5 years now. Absolutely love it. I work for the Regional Economic Development Corporation, and I do business development for that organization. It's all about growing the economy in the region and attracting new businesses and helping existing businesses do well. So a lot of exciting things are going on here, and it's very enjoyable.
Well, good. But now, how did you become involved with Altrusa?
Well, I've only been in Altrusa for maybe 9 months or so, but I absolutely love it, and it's a perfect service club for somebody like me who really wants to get involved with a lot of different people in the group, and from all walks of life and all sorts of backgrounds and professional areas, and we do really important things around the community, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So it's great.
Well, in fact, I'm going to ask you some more about Altrusa a little bit later on in the show here. But
Sure.
But recently, Altrusa and Prairie Public got a chance to partner with each other. In fact, I guess y'all were the sponsoring entity for a spelling bee, the
Yes.
Prairie Spelling Bee that was held at the Fargo Theater. And can you talk about this and how it came about?
Sure. Well, the organization Altrusa has been doing a golf tournament every year for the past 7 years to raise money for sort of our big annual fundraiser. And this year, the members of the club decided they wanted to do something a little differently. So we did some research into other clubs around the country, what they have done to raise funds and some of the more fun activities that they've tried. And a number of these clubs have done this corporate spelling bee event. And so we talked to them about how they went about doing it, how they promoted it, the logistics of the event and whatnot. And they all said that they had a lot of fun doing it and it was very successful. And so we learned from them and voted on it as a group. Everyone in the group thought it sounded like a great idea, especially because our organization, one of our main missions is promoting literacy, and spelling is certainly part of that, so we thought that would be very fun. And we also enjoy working with children, or that's also a big part of our mission. So this was a good mix of those things. The entire club thought it would be a great idea, and so we did our inaugural spelling bee this year.
Well, okay, so we hope we have many more of them, I think.
Yes.
But since corporate spelling bee is maybe not a common occurrence around here, what is a corporate spelling bee? Is it just what we think it would be, or tell me about it?
Sort of what you might think, but a little bit different. The competitors were mainly corporate teams. So we recruited businesses to pay a little bit of money to participate, and they each got to enter a team with 3 people. We also had some student teams as well, which was very fun and added an interesting dynamic to the group. The corporate teams, well, all the teams were able to confer amongst themselves when answering the questions. So unlike a traditional spelling bee where it's head-to-head, individual against individual, which is a little bit more intimidating, I think, this kind of event was more fun and more a team-based atmosphere. The teams worked together to spell the word. They had 30 seconds to talk about it, and then finally, gave their final answer. And they also got to choose among 3 categories of words, whether they wanted a 1-point word, a 2-point word, or a 3-point word. So even if your team maybe wasn't as good of a speller as some of the other teams, if you did well with the points, with the words that were of lesser points, you could still potentially win. So we did 2 rounds of 4 teams, and then the two teams from each round that did the best went to the finals, and it was really fun. It was very exciting and a little bit competitive, but for the most part, just a fun environment.
Well, now, you talked about students, but so were children involved? What age groups, I guess?
Sure. Well, we wanted to get kids involved. We actually, when we approached the businesses, used the tagline, "Are you smarter than a 6th grader?" as sort of a way to recruit the teams. And it worked, and they thought that was really, intriguing. And we were able to get just 2 teams this year from student teams. our goal was sixth graders, but I think they were actually some younger students as well. And the kids just had a great time. The audience was really, you know, interacting with the kids really well, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, we did, and in the future we would like to get some more student teams involved as well.
When you said 30 seconds, could they use pen and paper to write out the word?
They could, yes.
Because standing up, I always thought spelling bees where you stand there and you're having to visualize and spell.
Exactly.
That's tough.
Exactly, yes. And that was something we tried to, you know, communicate to the participants that we recruited. You know, it's a non-threatening sort of thing. You're not going to be on the spot in quite the same way that you would be if you were in a traditional spelling bee. So.
Well, in fact, I think we're going to take a look at some video
Okay.
of the Prairie Bee. Of course, it was taken with Prairie Public on that day. But can you talk about some of the excitement of that day? You mentioned the crowd interacting, and then you know, we'd also like to say thanks to the Fargo Theater. If you want to look over, you can see it on the monitor as we're watching it. Do want to thank Margie Bailey and the Fargo Theater for allowing us to use their facility for this, and it's a great venue there, isn't it?
It was perfect. It was wonderful. The stage, you know, was a great setup because everyone was sitting on the stage, and there was actually 2 tiers of tables, so you could see everyone really well. The audience was in the, you know, the crowd obviously in the seats, and we got, you know, a good view of everyone. And I have to say that the MC of the event, Merrill Pepcorn, was outstanding. I mean, he really created just such a great atmosphere, put everyone at ease. Even the competitors that I could tell were a little bit nervous at first, as soon as Merrill started talking and teasing people a little bit and making some jokes and things like that, everybody really, it broke the ice, and it set the tone for everybody to just really have a good time and be relaxed. And he was very good at leading that, so he was an awesome MC.
Well, yeah, I noticed, yeah, the kids there.
Yeah, there's some of the kids
involved, and there you can see some of the teams. Talk about, you know, some of the businesses, I guess. So, you know, you said you recruited, you were looking for corporate teams, so to speak. What kinds of businesses took place as we see Merrill Pepcorn up on stage there talking with the crowd, it looks like?
Yep. We were able to get sponsorships from approximately 10 companies. They didn't all choose to have teams in the event. Companies could either provide their own 3 people from their staff. They could find volunteers, which actually we ended up recruiting a couple teams from the local universities. One was a group of fraternity members, and one was a group of sorority members, and they were really good and very good sports and had a lot of fun. There's the fraternity boys right now. They were actually really good. So. But the teams that did participate, U.S. Bank was actually our biggest sponsor, so we were really appreciative of their involvement, and they had a team. Eide Bailly, Data 3D, Concord General Agency, Gate City Bank, Maple Valley School, and Red River Academy were the teams that participated, and then we also had sponsorships from Wells Fargo, Dawson Insurance, Selbo Law Firm, and Alland Law Firm. And you can see here the 4 teams in one of the rounds, and that's keeping score of, you know, how many points everyone had gotten. I was actually timing, so I was in the front row timing each of the words. In the end, Eide Bailly was the team that ended up winning, and it was very close. Eide Bailly and I think it was Data 3D was the other team. They had a group of sorority girls representing them. They were neck and neck, that's them right there, tied until the very end when there was actually a tiebreaker, and that word was entrepreneurial. And Eide Bailly was able to spell that correctly, so they ended up coming away with the gold. And it was really great because everybody expressed wanting to come back next year, that they just had so much fun that they definitely would be back. So we were really happy about that.
Well, that's probably the biggest compliment you could have from the crowd there, or from the teams there, to say that they want to come back. So that's great, and we look forward to that. You know, you talked some, and again, we talked about the corporate spelling bee maybe being new to our area, and again, you know, how you got involved. You talked a little bit, but is this something you think that that you will continue?
Oh, I think definitely, yeah. We were We were really pleased with how the event went this year, but we know that we can improve and we want to make it bigger and better and raise more money next year. But as I said, and the fact that all of the teams that participated were really excited and wanted to come back next year, that gives us a lot of encouragement that, that this is a good event. And especially if we get, to use the Fargo Theater again, get another great MC. We had a lot of fun. The teams had a lot of fun, and it was a good way to raise money, at the same time and support a cause that we really believe in. So I think we'll definitely do it again.
Well, as we just saw some video there, talk to me a little bit about, and I guess we're forward promoting, if I were to compete next year in the Spelling Bee and bring a team, what might I expect to experience?
Sure. Well, first of all, before the event, we sent each of the teams a list of the rules, and then also a list of the words that could potentially be given to them. So I think that was a good way to sort of take off some of the pressure or whatever. Teams felt prepared, I think, in advance. So that's part of it. The day of the event, we had a lot of volunteers there helping, and each, as I said, there was two rounds, each of 4 teams. We went around, in a circle of the teams, each one having a chance to spell the word. They get to choose, the difficulty level, so to speak, spell the word. If they got it right, they got the points. If they didn't get it right, obviously it was the next team's turn. And then that lasted 45 minutes. Each of our rounds were 45 minutes, went really fast. The crowd had jingle bells and were cheering, and we had one Altrusan in particular, actually, who was quite the cheerleader and getting everyone really involved. So that was really fun. And then in between the 2 rounds, we had food. The people who were waiting for their turn on stage, we were able to use the green room at the Fargo Theater. So they stayed down there. We had food and beverages from different companies in town, businesses that donated food, as well as Altrusans donating that as well. So so it was a fast day. And then for the last round with the finals, same sort of thing, 45 minutes. Sort of the excitement was building, and the teams were really excited to be in the finals. And then when they won, they received awards, and everybody received an award for participating and stuff like that. So it was exciting and fun, and the day went really quickly. So.
Well, now you talked about the words, and you sent some examples, I think you said, to them early on. But where did the list of words come from, and how did you choose the words?
The list of words was actually from the official Scripps National Spelling Bee list. Mm-hmm. So we didn't just make these up. They were the official words, and they were divided into 3 categories. Not necessarily according to difficulty. Actually, it was kind of funny at times. The words that were worth more points seemed simpler than the words that were worth less points. But the 1 point word were words that are frequently used. 2 point words are words that were moderately used, and then 3 point words were words that are infrequently used. So, just depending on how often we use these in everyday conversation and things like that. So those were the three different levels of word. And then we had some celebrity judges, I guess you could say, that did the judging and had their dictionary and everything else. And Prairie Public worked with Altrusa to form unique sentences for each of the words that had to do with Altrusa or literacy or Prairie Public or those sorts of topics. So,
well, that's fun. Now you talked about the green room, but I mean, how did you handle sort of the wait for the other participants? I mean, could they come in and sit in the audience and observe? Were they sequestered somewhere? Well,
no, they weren't sequestered. They were definitely free to come in and watch, and I think most of them did cheer on the other teams or boo them or whatever they wanted to do. And then yes, we did have an area for them to get refreshments and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, they enjoyed watching the rest of the competition, checking out their competition, and seeing who they had to compete against in the finals.
Well, with this year, what did you charge, or what did each team have to invest to compete in the competition?
We charged, I guess you could say, $300 per corporate team, and that was, as I said, for a 3-person team. Some of those teams chose to participate themselves. Some of those companies chose to sponsor, a group of college students, or in this case, sorority and fraternity members. The sixth grade teams, or the grade school teams, were $150 each, and they could provide that either themselves, maybe their parents, or through a booster club or a PTA, or have a company sponsor them as well. So very inexpensive considering how much fun it was. And I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the funding was really for Prairie Public. I mean, we raised the money obviously for Prairie Public.
Well, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But as I think back, because usually the question that sort of came up, why would somebody want to do this?
Why wouldn't somebody want to do this?
I think that's the right answer.
Yes, I wanted to do it, and I couldn't because the rules said that the Altruzans couldn't participate. So, it was just a lot of fun, and there's, a certain amount of competitiveness, which gave it, more excitement, I think. But at the same time, it was also laid back and very non-threatening atmosphere. So yeah, it was a great time. But also, it gave an opportunity for local businesses who are within the Prairie Public, broadcasting area to support Prairie Public in the Ready to Learn program and support them financially in a way that's, maybe a little bit different than what they're used to. So.
Well, in fact, you're already leading into that. The plans for the proceeds that were raised will go to benefit what? And you said a little bit of it.
After we pay our expenses, which I don't think are much, all the money will go to benefit Prairie Public's Ready to Learn program. And as I said earlier, with our mission of Altruza, partly to promote literacy, we felt it was just a great match for what we want to do, and it's a very important program that can use additional support. So all of the sponsorships will go toward that.
Well, and as we talked about Altruza at the beginning, and you said service organization, there's a lot of service organizations out there. Can maybe you give a little bit of background about Altruza, and because it's not just in Fargo, it's a national type service organization. Well, you tell me, what is Altruza?
Yes, it's actually an international organization. Started originally in 1917, so it's been around for almost 100 years now. There's over 10,000 members worldwide. The Fargo Club was actually started in 1960, and one of our charter members is actually still a member of the club and comes to all the meetings and participates in a lot of the, volunteer events and things, and that's really just awesome. It's very, inspirational to have her there, and she has a great story, about all her years in Altruza and whatnot. So we have about 25 to 30 members, and mainly, our group is entirely women, but it is a club that both women and men can belong to. Our values include volunteerism, promoting literacy, and then also fighting AIDS. Our mission is to encourage literacy and enrich the lives of women and children, and also encourage leadership through personal friendships, or personal development and friendships. So those are some of the most important things to us. And our vision is actually our vision is of a community that embraces change, celebrates diversity, and provides avenues for women and children to succeed. So it's largely a women and children focused organization. We do a lot of things around the community, and our club meets once a month, and it's a broad group of women from different backgrounds and different professional areas and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. But everything that we do in terms of our activities and our fundraising and so forth ties into our mission to promote literacy and enrich the lives of women and children.
Well, and I can see where, of course, the spelling bee and then your mission of Altruza and then Ready to Learn program with Prairie Public obviously fit very well. And
yes.
So we thank you, I guess, for that partnership, and hope that we can do this for many more years and hope we can grow it. But how many, you mentioned 25, I think, people, but say it again, because there are no paid employees at Altruza. It's all volunteer.
Yep, exactly, yes. We're strictly a service club, and we're all volunteers.
Okay.
There's a board of directors, that directs our activities and takes more responsibility, but everyone is a volunteer.
Okay. Well, then, but let's talk about some of those things that you do. You mentioned the broad thing, but or broad things that you look for. But you also hold a book fair that helps, I guess, Habitat for Humanity. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's actually a really exciting event. One thing that we do is build bookcases for the families who are a part of Habitat for Humanity. And then we hold a book fair at Barnes & Noble in Fargo in November, where all of the, if you come to Barnes & Noble and you purchase a book, multiple books, and you tell them when you go through the checkout that you're there for the Altruza Book Fair, a percentage of those proceeds go to Altruza. And then we use that money to buy books to fill the bookcases for the Habitat for Humanity families. So we're providing them with bookcases filled with books, and they really enjoy it.
Again, a nice attachment for literacy. And
yeah, definitely.
But also then a baby shower.
Yeah.
With proceeds going, I believe, to the YWCA for their shelter. Can you expand on that for us?
Yeah, this is probably one of our most popular, well-known events. And we hold it at Kmart every year. Basically just have sort of a table where people can drop off items, baby items, personal hygiene type items, diapers, anything that babies might need or small children might need or women might need. And then we donate all of the items as well as cash donations that people may give to the YWCA in Fargo. And this year I think we raised over $7,000 worth of items. So it was really successful.
Well, that's good. And then also there's a Raise a Reader program?
Yep, and that is with Nokomis. Okay. Nokomis Child Care, and basically volunteers, Altruza, we go out there and read to children and try to promote literacy that way.
Well, again, now, if people want to get involved with Altruza, you mentioned that it just happens to be all women right now in your group, so maybe you want to recruit a few of the males out there. But if people are interested in getting involved, I mean, what is it they would have to do? You said meet once a month, but I mean, again, talk about how somebody can get involved and be a part of this.
Sure, yeah. We meet once a month. We are very encouraging of having visitors come to the meetings. We like to, have people come and see what it's all about, learn a little bit, and then if they enjoy it, they can, potentially become a member. But we have a website, which is altruzafargo.com. And if you go to that website, you can find out more about, who is involved in the group and who you can email to learn more. It also has information on all of the events that we do, all of our projects throughout the year, and contact information for people that you can contact to become a member.
Well, and even we'll back it up just a moment, because obviously you partnered with Prairie Public most recently, and I assume that you're probably your newest partnership you had with the Prairie Bee. But so how did y'all decide, because obviously Prairie Public has an education service department with a Ready to Learn program that promotes literacy. So we already had that instituted into Prairie Public's culture. So is that what you're doing? Are you just looking to match up with opportunities like that for people throughout the community?
I think that's exactly right. I mean, we try to do a wide variety of things that will fulfill our mission and our vision. And this was a perfect opportunity because, like you said, I mean, it's already set up for this sort of activity, and we can just plug ourselves in and donate our money, and it worked out perfectly, and that's the sort of thing that we're definitely interested in. So
then, as far as your funding for each one, your funds basically come from the events you put on. Is that
exactly? Yes. Yep. All the fundraising we do goes to benefit different groups like that. And we pay dues, I mean, we're like any other service organization just to kind of keep our club going. But all the money that we raise to give away, basically.
Well, I've spelled out a number of programs. I think you said you probably have a few more out there, but maybe these were the major ones. But how many projects can you take on in a year? I mean, how many do you look forward to do in a year's time? That's a good question. We just had this discussion, I think, at our last meeting. And, the ones that you mentioned are kind of the big ones. I think the book fair, the baby shower, and then the spelling bee all kind of happen within the span of just a few months. So we really, put a lot of our effort into that. And then we have some smaller things like Nokomis, as well as an Alzheimer's book club that we have that happen on a regular basis, but are not as big of a commitment for all the members. So
I think we're pretty comfortable where we're at because we want to have as much of an impact as we can with a couple projects, and we feel like we're doing that.
Well,
so.
good. Well, real quick then, if people want more information about Altrusa, you mentioned, but website again, and
Yep.
anything other information you'd like to give?
It's altrusafargo.com. It's ALTRUSA. And we would encourage anyone to contact us and join our group. It's a lot of fun, and we're always looking for new members.
Well, Mary, we thank you for all your support, and we look forward to partnering with you in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. Well, that's all we have on Prairie Pulse this week, and as always, thanks for watching.